The Xros Heart Mervamon deck has been dominating the most recent meta of BT11 format, winning many games and large tournaments as well. Digimon fans, welcome back, and today we'll be showcasing the Xros Heart Mervamon deck profile. We talked about the Xros Heart deck with Shoutmon Xros 7, and we also covered the pure purple Mervamon Rush deck too. And now it is time to show you guys the strength of combining both Xros Heart and Mervamon together to feature this top tier deck. Rather than playing Xros 7 as your boss Digimon, Mervamon now becomes your main go-to Digimon with the core of Xros Heart's build. The idea is to simply chip down your opponent's security with a Rookie Rush strategy and then finish them off with the Mervamon combo that can bring out extra bodies with Rush and Blocker. You might be wondering, how are we going to gain that much memory in order to pull off that kind of combo? Well, don't worry, as I'll be teaching you guys how to play the deck, but let's also first show you guys how it all works along together with the build. I'm also super excited to announce a new feature on my channel where I launched my very first ever YouTube membership called the Avault Club. By joining, you will have access to exclusive perks and contents that regular viewers don't have. Perks include the Avault Club membership badge, and the best part is that you'll be able to see members-only community posts featuring my first draft deck profiles even before the video comes out. You will see more updates by me for every deck profile released and even updated deck lists and adjustments with all the lists. Your comments and questions will also have priority replies from me. So what are you guys waiting for? Click on the join button right now. Thank you all so much for the support, and I look forward to engaging with you guys. Okay, to begin with Digi-Egg cards, we always have the 4 copies of Pikmons. It is really just the best egg for the entire deck and archetype right now, because when attacking, if it has Xros Heart in its traits, you get to draw one, and draw power is really all you need, and the 4 copies of these eggs are really just all you need to have in the deck. Alright, now let's talk about our rookies, which are level 3s. 4 copies of Shoutmon. It is your on-play searcher, adding yourself 1 tamer card with Xros Heart, also 1 Digimon that is Xros Heart as well. Very, very valuable, really great. And then of course it has a usual save. It gives the inheritable of Rush to your Shoutmon in its name, so we still play that a lot. And yeah, this is a really core important searcher of your deck, which is why again you want to play 4 copies and maximize it off. Then a little bit different this time. We got 3 copies of Starmons now. We actually don't need as many Starmons as we used to because this is a very different kind of build. But Starmons is still pretty decent because it has the generic save. It has the inheritable of when attacking. If this Digimon Shoutmon is named, you get to draw 1. But you don't really, again, need it as often because now you want to make room for this sort of different Xros Heart card, which is way more important, which we have 3 copies of Ignitemon. You guys can actually easily play 4 copies of this if you want further consistency. Its main effect is that when attacking by deleting one of your other Digimon, you get to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon that is a level less than or equal to the Digimon's deleted level, and comes up every now and then, which is kind of nice, pretty interesting. But mainly it's for its inheritable is because of its all turns. Once per turn, when you play a Digimon by an effect, you get to gain a memory. Very important to combine along together with your Mervamon, which we're going to talk about more and showcase you guys later on. But yeah, you definitely want to see at least 2 to 3 copies of Ignitemon in your deck because it's going to be very important. Then we got 2 copies of Sparrowmon. We don't need as many Sparrowmons as before because we don't really play the big cross plays combos as much, but still a very good rookie to have because you get extra 3000 DP all turns. It has a save and it gives the reboot. But once again, you know, you got to change the ratios up a little bit to make room for Ignitemon and the other guys. And then for the last rookie, I still have Shoutmon plus Star Sword. Still really good. It can compensate for either being Shoutmon or Starmons, which is still very nice. Being able to pop smaller stuff is also with its on-play effect, which is still also really, really good. And yeah, you can potentially digicross it as well if you want to. So a one-off tech is always very nice. So we will be getting even more new support for both Xros Heart and Mervamon with Shoutmon Xros 7 Superior Mode and Jet Mervamon coming in for BT12. So if you guys are Shoutmon and Mervamon fans and want to see me cover more updated deck profiles for BT12, including them, then be sure to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on that notification bell. Stay tuned. Also give this video a like while you're at it, as it really helps and I greatly appreciate the support from all of you. That's it for our level 3s. Let's talk about our level 4s, and we still have the 4 copies of Durulomon. Really great on play so that you can minus 3000 DP to one of your opponent's Digimon. Very crucial to use this to take out your opponent's floodgates that stop you from Digicrossing, reducing play cost. That's what you mainly want to save this card for. Of course, on deletion save, and then it's inheritable is your turn while this Digimon has Shoutmon in its name. All your opponent's security Digimon gets minus 2000 DP, which is always nice so that you can swing over safely with this guy there. And of course, not much to changes as well. We got 4 copies of Ballistamon. It is your blocker, and the inheritable is giving you piercing to your Shoutmon. You still want to see this as much as possible, and yeah, really great card as your defensive tool. Then you definitely want to play still again 4 copies of Cross 3, because with all the synergy with all your other lower level Digimon, you definitely want to combine a lot so that you can do your Digicross plays with Shoutmon, Ballistamon, and Durulomon, so you can sort of effectively reduce its cost so that you can search when you play this guy. Adding 2 search targets is always very nice with Crossheart in its traits, and yeah, this one is a very important card. That's why you always want to keep at a 4 no matter what. And then finally for the level 4, we still got the one Shoutmon Cross 4. Still, again, very powerful card, really strong, so that you can, potentially play it for 1 only, requiring Shoutmons, Ballistamon, Durulomon, and Starmons to Digicross, and then you pay 1 memory, but on play draw 2, and then you have all those really nice inheritables racked upon together with it. Is really why this card is super good for the deck. And then let's talk about our level 5s. I actually like to play 1 Cross 5. Some people play 2 copies, but you really don't need that much anymore. It's always nice that you can potentially Digicross for 0 with this guy, because you have Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Durulomon, Starmons, and Sparrowmon. So then effectively it can rush, gain security +1, it has blocker, and then Material Save 3 as well. And along with, again, with all those inheritables is very nice. But we don't really play that much top end because we really want to focus on a lower end strategy with this deck, which is why 1 copy is really good. Otherwise, again, if you guys want to play 2, totally go for it, and I won't be opposed to that whatsoever as well. That's it for all of our level 5s. Now, very important, let's talk about our level 6s, where we have the 3 copies of Mervamon here. Mervamon is your main boss Digimon of the deck now. This is the level 6 Cross Heart version of her. She is really good because when you would play this card, you could also place cards from your trash as Digicross requirements as well. And then her main effect is on play, when Digivolving, you get to play 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon, or a level 4 or lower Digimon card with Cross Hearts and its traits from your trash for free. And then if you Digicrossed, you get to add an additional Digimon that you can play via this effect. So you're always going to be playing 2 bodies once again. Very similar to the Merva Rush pure purple build. But this one is very nice because it lets you play stuff like Cross 3, Cross 4. And you can get a lot of value with those guys as well. And they have the rush capability and blocker as well at the same time. So what makes it really good. And of course, you always want to be comboing it with your Ignite-mon because it gets you more value, and you can basically potentially play it for even lesser cost with the Digicross requirements when you hard play her. But yeah, you definitely want to see her as soon as possible. 3 is really all you need because you have a lot of really great rookies, and you have a really good alternative 4s and 5s to play in the deck, which you don't really necessarily need a 4 of her. But some of you guys want more further consistency to see her as soon as possible. Definitely bump her up to 4 if you would like. That's it for all of our Digimon. Let's now talk about our Tamers. Of course, you still must have 4 copies of Taiki because it lets you Digicross from your Tamers for the Digicross requirements, but also your on-play searcher, adding more sources as well. And yeah, you definitely want to see this card as often and as quickly as possible in the early stages of the game, so that you can do your Cross 4, Cross 3 combos, and potentially Cross 5 combos as well as efficiently as possible. Next, 3 Akaris, still really great. Lets you play Durulomon for free, lets you draw a card. You might want to actually even bump her up to 4 so that you can draw faster, search faster, gather pieces, and whatnot. And yeah, see your combo pieces as soon as possible, which is totally good. But 3 is like the bare minimum I would definitely recommend. And then Zenjiro as well, very great, memory efficient. Whenever you hard play something with Cross Hearts, you get to suspend him to gain a memory so that you can really manipulate the memory gauge and be, again, efficient with your plays during your turn, which is always fantastic. Being able to play Ballistamon for free is great when it cheekily comes out from security and you get to spit out a Ballistamon, you have a blocker to sort of protect you, is always very nice as well, and comes in clutch. And then, last but not least, we play the 2 copies of the Triple Tamer, Taiki, Kiriha, and Nene. Still very great card, really nice addition from BT11, so you can add more resources underneath your Tamers. draw cards, gain memory, of course, and of course mainly letting you digicross under your tamers by suspending it for any of your digicross requirements is really good, crucial as well. That's it for all of our tamers. Let's talk about our options. We do have this crazy 4 copies of Blinding Ray right here. Simply with its main effect is trashing the top card of your security stack, then you gain 2 memory. Very cool interaction and sort of effect to this card, where if you have 0 security, you can still gain 2 memory off this card for free. So trashing a security is not a requirement to fulfill the secondary effect of this card. And we do play a Pikmon's yellow egg source so that we can very easily meet the conditions and the color requirements, as well as Akari for this particular card. You don't always want to be playing this card just for no reason. You want to make sure that you're playing it at the most pivotal situations, whether to really choke your opponent's memory down. Otherwise, your main priority should be saving this card in your hand to play it when you're ready to go for the big turn Merva combo rush plays to finish your opponents off. Because otherwise, there is no security effect with this card whatsoever, so you don't get to add it to your hand. And this is the whole reason why you want to play 4 copies, so that you can see it as often as you can, and as many of them too. And then next we got Gravity Crush, which is exactly the same, but the red version of it. Gain 2 memory, and then at the end of the turn, you lose 2 memory, giving a lot to your opponent. Very important as well. We play enough red sources in this deck. We play lots of Taikis. All our Shoutmon related cards are always mostly red anyways, so it's very easy to fulfill the color requirements too. But this is the other memory card you want to be playing very effectively alongside with Blinding Ray, so you can gain a ton of memory and then go for that combo play as well. Once again, it doesn't have a security effect, which is exactly the reason why you want to maximize that 4 copies, so you see it often enough when you go for your draw power cards. That's it for the 50 card main deck. Let's show you guys other potential cards that you can be adding into this deck and sort of teching in based on your own personal preference and choices. Of course, I would always recommend DefXmon. With this deck being super popular, DefX is going to become more valuable when it comes to hitting it on board for very little cost. Really good at countering decks like these as well, and you're going to have mirror matches every now and then, which is why I would recommend it. Not mandatory, which is why I left it at this sort of like optional section, but otherwise still a very good card to potentially consider playing in your main deck, at least 1 or 2 of. Then for red type of removal cards, we got Fireball and Crimson Blaze. I would argue both these cards are just super good. Fireball gives you the draw power if you need, but otherwise, if not, deleting your opponent's 3000 or less DP Digimon is super crucial. Many people are going to start playing a lot of these rookie floodgates to stop you from digicrossing so that you can't pull off your plays, or even just like simple memory blockers that prevent you from playing your Gravity Crushes and your Blinding Rays. This is where Fireball comes in super clutch and very important for the deck. Same for Crimson Blaze, because it can get rid of anything that's 6000 DP or less. The wider your opponent goes, the more punishing you can do to them. It also stops them from playing Digimon via effects too, which is really good. Then for the yellow type, we actually got, of course, Sunrise Buster. Still a very decent card. We do play, again, enough red and yellow sources to play this card every now and then. It lets us play a yellow or red tamer from our hand, and we get to minus 3000 DP to something. Lots of value here, and not as good and not as powerful as before. This card is a little bit slower for the deck, but still a very good, nice consideration, because it can come in clutch every now and then too. And then for another yellow removal option, the Lowing K at a stack tool is just perfect and fantastic as well at getting rid of bigger stuff. You get to put stuff back in security, and being at the 3 security sweet spot number for you, you get the most value with this card, which is why it's also a really good consideration if you ever need to sort of like want some defensive removal. And then last but not least, a reinforcing memory boost is not too bad as well. Sometimes the game does prolong a little bit, and having that extra memory does help you a lot. Very similar to Gravity Crush and Blinding Ray. It can sit there and get ready to pop it, gaining that 3 memory for that big turn when you're ready to play. So a really good card I would highly consider adding as well. Otherwise, its main effect is still really good because it reveals the top 2 cards of your deck. You get to add one of them and put one of them in your security and really set up and sort of like plan ahead and go with your combo plays, which is really nice too. Alright, now that we talked about all the cards I want to mention, let's go into the how to play and combo segment. Very similar to the traditional Cross 7 or traditional Cross Heart deck. For this, of course, you'll always be hatching your egg. You're going to be digivolving your rookies, and here are usually your lineups for different choices. Of course, for Shoutmon in particular, you want to be hard playing it so you can search for it more and rather than digivolving. But otherwise, Starmons is great. Ignitemon is great, or Sparrowmon, any of them you want to digivolve, and again, as per usual, you don't want to wait. As soon as you can move it out, just start swinging and draw with Pikmons. You want to draw cards as much as you can, more often than the actual regular Xros Heart build. This one's way more aggro and aggressive, and the early stage of the game, all you're trying to do is to chip your opponent's security down all the time. Now, of course, just like the regular Xros Heart strategy, many of these guys have save other than Ignitemon. Therefore, you want to always make sure that you have established a tamer on board, whether it's Taiki that you search, whether it's Zenjiro that you play the Ballistamon, and Akari for draw power and gaining memory with Zenjiro. You want to make sure that for Akari and Zenjiro specifically, that you're getting the most value for having their retrospective Digimon that they can play, so then you can gain, again, maximum value when you do so. So then you can play a Ballistamon with Zenjiro, you can play Darulamon with Akari while doing all these combos, and of course you just keep swinging and swinging as much as you can. And if they ever get deleted, just save them underneath your tamers, so then you're good to go and you're setting up for yourself for the next level, higher level plays. Now, meanwhile, you're doing that as well. If you get this other tamer there on board, fantastic. The more tamers you set up, the better it is, because it's just going to give you more value. Akari is a little bit more crucial in this particular build, just because, again, draw power is very, very important. Same for the Taiki, Kira, and Nene. The earlier you can set it up, the better it is. So then you can put stuff underneath them, gain a memory, and draw cards as well, all at the same time, which is always very nice. Now, once you have all these kind of guys set up, this is when you can sort of go into your cross-free plays. You know, you want to be crossing with at least 2 resources, 2 Digicross requirements, or maximizing the 3 to sort of pay 1 or 3 costs depending on what you have. Use Zenjiro in these moments to manipulate the memory gauge even further, depending, again, what you have. So you're trying to search for your cards. Grab out more Xros Heart type of cards, and again, all you have to do is just be as aggressive as you can and just keep swinging non-stop. Don't stop. And what you're really looking for is to gather these cards with the draw power cards as you're going. These are really, really important, which is why you play 4 copies of each and both, so that you can go for those big turn plays. Your goal is to chip down your opponent's security down to 2 security left. And it's very easy to achieve with this deck because you have so many rookies and it's just so fast paced. All you have to do with the top end combo is you might be at just 1 memory starting right off there. And all you need is your Mervamon for crossing. And these guys can be in the trash. Your cross 3 being in trash is really, really good. Also your cross 4, if you ever see your cross 4 in trash. Also your Ballistamon, Starmon, Shoutmon. Any of these guys or any of your tamers get threatened and deleted and they're ever in the trash right here, there's still resources because Mervamon will always be able to bring them back. Very important though, Ignitemon, you definitely wanted to be in your trash so that you can even play it for more effective cost with the Mervamon combo. So like I said, you might be starting at 1 memory, and this is where when you go for the big turn plays, if you have 3 of these access, that's really all you need, because you want to get yourself to 7 memory. And then if you have Zenjiro or multiple Zenjiros, again, you just want to make sure you have 7 memory at that particular turn. Now, another very important note is to make sure that your opponent doesn't have any floodgate rookies. No rookies that stop memory blocking, no rookies that stop you from digicrossing. You want to get rid of those first. So it's very important for you to actually save your Akari sometimes, more so as to save it for Darulamon, to use it to get rid of your opponent's floodgate rookies. So once they're gone, they can't really get them back as much, and your opponent can only really counter you if they set up 2 on board, and there's no other way for you to remove it. But otherwise, that's what you really want to save Darulamon. Don't waste Darulamon on cards that are not very crucial, are not very essential. If you know, identify your opponent's matchup. If you know that kind of matchup, that type of deck does play floodgate rookies, you save your Darulamons for them. I cannot stress this enough, because once they put down 1 or 2, especially 2 on the board, and you have no answer to it, your combo is basically essentially over. But anyways, somehow you just want to get access to 7 memory, whether you play 2 Blinding Rays with 1 Gravity Crush or multiple Gravity Crushes, whatever, for you to gain that memory. So you play at least like 3 different ones, so you'd be at 7. Let's just say you play 3 of any kind, and you can immediately cross with Mervamon for 8 costs, passing your opponent to 1 first. And then you want to always slide in Ignitemon underneath, and then play 2 things. Ideally, you can play your cross 3, so you can search for even more pieces while you're doing so, which would be really, really good. You can either play Ballistamon or play Darulamon. Don't worry about these guys, they will all gain blocker and rush. If you have access to Cross 4, play Cross 4 instead as well. They all will gain rush and give you lots of value. The most optimal is to play Cross 3 and Cross 4 at the same time. So really pick and choose what you have. And since your opponent's down to 2 security as well, so now you got 3 bodies on board to swing at them. Also remember, Ignitemons all turns effects will gain you that memory back because you just play something via an effects. You can also suspend Zenjiro to gain another memory early in the turn. If you utilize Taiki Kirihara Nene, then you probably gained another memory from sliding something in as well. So very, very flexible. You know, you don't really always need to play 3 blinding rays and gravity crushes. You know, really utilize how much memory you have. The most important thing is counting your memory for this particular deck. So once you see lethal, you just go ahead and start swinging with these guys and swing with Mervamon as well to finish the game. Another really cool thing to play around is sometimes you can even cross Mervamon underneath Mervamon too, because sometimes your opponents might be playing some Digimon types that have de-digivolving and whatnot. If Mervamon gets de-digivolved, at least you have another Mervamon on board as well, which works very, very nicely. And it's also a really, really powerful card so that you can keep swinging, and that's basically how you finish games. Set your opponent down to 2 security, use Mervamon to finish them off. Super simple strategy, super linear, and really, really powerful. That'll wrap up for our deck profile for today. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, or questions, be sure to share it with everyone in the comments down below. If you guys haven't seen my Cross 7 or the pure purple Mervamon Rush deck yet, then be sure to watch those videos as well, as you can learn a lot from those different strategies. Links will be left in the description box down below. We got lots more Digimon videos and content coming, so definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button right now, turn on that notification bell to stay tuned. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you next video. This is Avault, signing out.